So my name is Zoe Clark. I'm Senior Self-Management Program Officer at NASS, and tonight I'm joined by a second member of Yoga for AS. We're following on from our session a few weeks ago. I'm delighted to be joined by Geoff Lindsay. Hi Geoff, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
we're very pleased to have you back. And this session is going to be a practical yoga session again, focusing a little bit more on the neck, focusing on neck pain and stiffness, as well as other areas in the body. For anyone who's joining us live, feel free to follow along, have a space around you so you've got plenty of room around you, have a wall handy as well. But if you haven't tried yoga before, or if you're just not sure if it's suitable for you, the video will stay on our page so you can catch up anytime. You can sit and watch the session today and then check with your physio to make sure it's suitable for you, or try again in your own time where you can pause between the poses. So Geoff, before I hand over to you for the practice, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and about Yoga for AS?
yes. I've got AS myself, and I'm a qualified yoga teacher. Jamie Boder and I are co-founders of Yoga for AS a few years ago. So we've been developing safe yoga modified for AS. We believe that it may help to reduce the pain, stiffness and fatigue, and in line with the recommendations of AS specialist physiotherapists. So what we're going to be doing today is beginners, as in simple, easy yoga. But I do emphasize it's really important, if you look at something when I demonstrate it and you think, maybe not for me this time, then do sit out and watch, or just try it and then back off, ease off. So, but it's all modified for AS, and it comes from our experience. And the other thing to say, of course, is I am a NASS member. So it would be good if everybody joins NASS as well.
Thank you very much. I definitely endorse that message. So really looking forward to the session this evening. I can see we've got quite a few people joining us already. I hope everyone's come ready for a nice relaxing session. Something we also wanted to discuss beforehand as well. I remember when we chatted about this before the session, you'd shared that you use the Bath indices scores to help sort of track your symptoms, but also track how your yoga is helping as well. Do you want to talk us through sort of the benefits you found with that?
Yes, well, one of the things we've all got to try and do is measure how we're doing. And the standard measure for that, that's used across the globe, and it's heavily researched evidence, is the Bath indices. And you can download those from the NASS website. That's what it looks like. And it's called the Bath, not because it's a tin bath, but because it's from the Royal National Hospital for Rheumatic Diseases in Bath, England. And they've devised that. There are a complete guide there to how to make your scores. And we also have some help from our AS specialist physiotherapists, and they have a national organisation here called A-Stretch. And they've produced this guide, which is going to be available in the links. And you print it off, you get a friend to help you, because some of the measurements you can't do for yourself. And then you put the scores on there, and then you end up with a score out of 10, which gives you a really strong evidence-based assessment, a baseline assessment of where you are. So then you can repeat it every 6 months or a year, whatever, and then you can take those scores into your next review with your rheumatologist and discuss with your physiotherapist if you have that opportunity. And it's coming from the same toolbox that they use as well. So I'd strongly recommend that, but you will need a friend, a yoga buddy, a family member to help you with the measurements. It takes about half an hour. So in addition to those measurements, which are called the BASME, there are 3 other assessments which you can, which you can complete yourself. So they're all very useful to give you an idea of where you're up, and then you can share that with your health and social care professionals and your family members if you wish.
That's wonderful, thank you. Because yeah, I think over time it's really difficult day to day to judge how you're feeling and how things may have improved. So it's really nice to have that score that gives you that sort of concrete thing that you can track over time.
Yes, and we become experts by experience in our own way. We haven't got medical qualifications, but if you can teach yourself, if you can learn about the condition and how to monitor your condition as well, you can work out how the things that you're doing right, really. And obviously we believe that yoga for AS is one of those things that you can do right. So if you start your yoga for AS practice and you practice it safely and regularly, it may be after a month or 3 months you do another Bath indices score and see how you're doing.
Nice little added motivation as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. So I think, shall I hand over to you for the practice now for everyone to join in, and then yeah, I'll appear at the end for 5 minutes if anyone's got any burning questions.
Okay, thanks very much.
Well, thanks, Geoff.
So first of all, bring your chair and get yourself comfortable. As you can see, I'm going to use some sheets. We're going to start with some breathing so that we get into that relaxed mode. So get yourself nice and comfortable, sitting up as straight as you comfortably can, palms resting on the tops of the thighs. And we're going to do some breathing in a sequence of 2, 2, 4, 2. So we breathe in from the belly to 2 and hold, and then we exhale to 4, and then we hold for 2. So let's do that together, and then you can get into that cycle on your own, because it's important that you learn in your rhythm what's your rhythm and how much lung capacity you have. So breathing in from the belly goes out first. Breathing in through the nose, hold, exhale through the nose to 4, and hold to 2. Now repeat, breathing in from the belly, hold, exhale to 4. If you're able to exhale to 5, that's better. So carry on breathing on your own in that sequence. 2, 2, 4, 2. Breathing in from the belly to 2, hold to 2, breathe out to 4, and hold for 2. Then repeat. Try to avoid any tension in your shoulders, in your jaw, relax in your jaw. Gaze straight ahead. And we'll continue with you breathing in this sequence for about a minute. And I'll breathe with you. Have a nice, relaxing, long exhalation. So now taking the chair to one side, we're going to stand in something we call in yoga mountain pose. And one of the reasons for this is that when we're in chronic pain, we slump into the flexion, which is this, sometimes called the question mark pose. And it's counterintuitive, but the way out of that is to unfold out of it. So, standing with feet hip width apart, feet are parallel, lift up from the arches, lift up from the knees, and I'll stand sideways at this point to illustrate. So the pelvis is tucking down at the back there, put the hands to the hips like so, breathe in from the belly and tilt the pelvis down at the back, up at the front here. That enables us to lift the chest, roll the shoulders out, the palms are facing slightly forwards, and breathe. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, gazing straight ahead. Imagine the crown of the head rising towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulder blades down so that you're increasing the gap between the tops of the shoulders here and the bottoms of the earlobes here. Try not to hunch up. Consciously relax the shoulder blades down and avoid arching in the back of the neck. There we are. In yoga language, that's called Tadasana. That's from the ancient language of yoga, from Sanskrit. And I love to use the ancient language there. So from here, we're going to move on to a pose called the chair pose. So if you just watch this for a moment, again, we're standing with feet hip width apart, feet are parallel, but I'll stand to the side so that you can see a little easier. Breathing in, we take the hands up. Now, you may find that you can't take the hands right up, so bend the hands so that you've got comfort in your shoulders. We always want to have maximum comfort in yoga for AS. Our motto is stretch, not strain. So if you're good here, that's fine. If you're good here, that's also fine. So breathing in. On the out breath, bend the knees straight forwards and just come to a comfortable position as though you were going to sit on a chair. And we're leaning slightly forwards and breathing softly and gently. The idea of this pose is we're beginning to stretch the calves and the Achilles. So we're working on the legs first of all. Keep breathing. To come out of the pose, we always come out of the pose slowly. Breathing in on the out breath, come to standing. Stand as tall as you can. So the reason for working on legs when our theme for today is necks, is that if we stretch the legs and we move from this position to this position, I'm exaggerating to illustrate, then we can work on our posture in the spine, and then we work on the neck more towards the end of the class. So for now, we're going to do a modification on chair pose. If you watch me first of all, breathing in, take the arms up to a comfortable position, bending the knees on the out breath, take the arms to the shoulders and lift the elbows. And the idea of this is you feel a stretch across the top of the shoulder blades. So where there's that inflammation in the rib spine junctions, that we're stretching those sore emphases. and that may help to break up the inflammation and relieve some pain. So join in. This is the bear hug adaptation of chair pose. Then come out of the pose and change the fold of the hands so that the other elbow is on top, breathing in. Bend down again, keep the elbows raised and puff the chest out a little bit. This gives you that stretch across the top of the shoulder blades. And come out of the pose by standing tall, have a little shake out. Now with your chair, turn the chair around so that the back is facing you, and try to have all 4 feet on a non-slip surface like a yoga mat if you've got it. But just be careful not to let the chair slide away from you. So first of all, we're going to take the heel of the hand to the top of the chair. So when I say the heel of the hand, that's here. So it's not the palm and it's not the wrist. It's here. That's the strong point. So get your distance. Take the hand shoulder width apart, and the heel rests on the top of the chair with the fingers pointing positively forwards. And now just start to step back until you reach a comfortable position for a stretch here. So for me, that's here. Keep your knees bent at the knees, but you may find that you're here. That's fine. In yoga for AS, there's no such thing as the perfect pose. We're not competitive. The idea is you get started and you work on it over the years. So open up in the armpits here. Some of these movements are really, really small. Keep the knees bent. Keep the ears between the upper arms. Look straight down and feel that stretch. Breathing softly and gently. You can tilt the pelvis if you wish. And just roll the shoulders out a little. Keep breathing, in through the nose, out through the nose. The upper inner thighs are going backwards and upwards. Again, very, very small movements. To come out of the pose, just lift up and step forwards. And come to standing again. Shake out any tension that's crept in. Now take the hands again. It's often very good to repeat a pose. It feels a lot better the second time. We're going to do a little modification as well. So come back to your comfortable position so that you're feeling the stretch. As soon as you're feeling the stretch, you're getting the benefits. So don't strain and move on the out breath if you can. If you move on the out breath, that's when the muscles are not spasming. So get to a comfortable position. Breathe in. On the out breath, turn your hands so that the thumbs are pointing straight up to the ceiling and the palms are facing each other. And then keep working and stretching, and that rotation of the shoulders helps you to feel a stretch across the bottom of the, what's called the cervical spine, the neck, and that's where I have fusion. So this is a very good one for me. So I've had AS for a lot of years, but I've been lucky. I only have fusion in my neck here and in the sacroiliac joints here. So motion is the lotion. Keep moving. So there we are. That's a modification to the standing tabletop. Now, a little bit more work on the legs. Turning the chair around like so. You might need to use a wall, get your distance, and what we're going to do is to stand tall in Tadasana again, raising the right leg. You might want to have another chair to the side so that you can be reassured in your balance, or I've very conveniently got a wall here that I can just touch and make sure I've got my balance. Stand tall in your left leg. Take the hands to the hips, and we bend forward from the hips with a straight spine, keeping the head in a neutral position. The sternum bone here is going straight forwards and up. We're not folding down. And the idea of this is that we feel the stretch in the hamstrings here and the glutes going up through the buttocks. So this is very good if you get any of the sacroiliac pain, which so many of us do. Breathing in, on the out breath, relax down. You can take your hands to the top of the thigh. Don't take the hands to the knee. Keep a soft bend in the knee. If you are very flexible, you can take your hands to the shins. But the idea is stretch, not strain. So this hip is hitting backwards. We're trying to keep the left leg perpendicular to the floor. Breathing, breathing, breathing. You should be feeling a stretch in the leg going through it. To come out of the pose, again, slowly. Head first, shake out, get your distance. Use the convenient wall. Take the heel to the top of the chair. Now try not to have the toes pointing forwards or jammed backwards. Just relax the foot and be as straight as perpendicular in the standing right leg as you can, but keep a bit of a soft bend and keep a bit of a soft bend in the left knee as well. We don't want to overextend behind the knees. Hands to hips, breathing in. And then fold forwards, taking the hands to the top of the thigh. Keep a straight back. As soon as you feel that stretch in the back of the left thigh, stop there. Breathe and relax. You're getting the benefits. If you feel you've edged a bit forward, you can always bring the heel back. Make some small adjustments. And then to come out of the pose, you can use the chair, the wall. And again, just relax and unwind a little. And now, we're going to do some kneeling. So if you have difficulty getting to the floor, you can use a chair, and if you have difficulty kneeling, use a blanket. So I've got a fleecy blanket here with a number of layers, and it really helps to soften the floor underneath you. And it's a very good thing if you find it difficult to lie on your back. Don't just lie on one yoga mat on a hard floor. Put something down. You can put a mattress topper down, anything that will soften it. And we've got a few tips as well on how to be comfortable when you're lying on your back. So let's start with coming to kneeling. Push this chair out of the way. So the top of the foot is to the floor, and we're kneeling as straight as we can. Breathing in, take the left foot forwards, so that you've got a right angle here between the left shin and the left thigh, and a right angle here from the right thigh to the right calf. And have the hands straight down to the side. Allow the shoulder blades to relax down. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, tuck the tailbone down here. This protects the lower spine, and it gives us a feeling of a stretch in the top of the right thigh here, and it limbers the hip on the right side, breathing softly and gently. Keep tilting that pelvis down at the back. Imagine you're driving a car and you're tilting the headlamps up. Then come out of the pose by coming back to kneeling on both knees. Take a breath, then take the right foot forwards. Again, having the right angle there. Just check out the right so that you can see clearly. Having the right angle between shin and thigh, and the same on the left leg. Having straight arms helps us to get a sense of whether we're leaning forwards or leaning back. We want to be as straight up as we can. Breathing in. On the out breath, take the tailbone down, headlamps up, start to feel the stretch at the top of the left thigh. Breathing softly and gently. In through the nose, out through the nose. And relax the jaw. Relax the shoulder blades down. And then come back to kneeling. And we're going to do a relaxation pose now, called pose of the child. It still can be a bit of a stretch, so there's a few options here for you to be comfortable. So you can have the knees wide apart, like so, or you can have them closer together. But what we want to have is the big toes touching at the back. So I'm going to have knees wide, big toes touching at the back, fold down, and as you do, take the hands forwards, and you can take the forehead to the floor. Now, for some people, taking the forehead to the floor is not possible. So you can stack the palms like so. You can have a fist with a palm on the top. You can have two fists and rest your forehead that way. So I'll demonstrate all of those. So the forearms go to the floor. Take the palms there, like so, or like so. And we just relax here. So we've done a lot of work on the legs. So now just breathe softly and gently and allow the spine here to lengthen and the outside of the vertebrae opens. It should be a very nice, comfortable feeling for you. If it isn't comfortable, then stack the hands, or you can get a block or a big cushion. These are yoga blocks, these are high density foam, and you can relax to those as well. So we'll stay here for a minute, just relaxing. Allowing the spine to lengthen. Keep breathing. Palms are flat to the floor, fingers are spread, middle finger pointing forwards. Normally at this point in a class, I would be watching everybody to make sure that they were working well. So one of the really important things while you're relaxing and listening is if you go to a yoga class and you get asked to do something that doesn't feel right, then ease off and back off and say to the teacher that, you know, this isn't quite right for you. Sometimes there is a pressure to do things in yoga that we really try to avoid in yoga for AS, because we have a fundamental idea of the absence of injury. We really don't want to get any injuries. So carry on breathing for another 30 seconds in pose of the child here. So now, if you come to a comfortable sitting position and just watch whilst I demonstrate what we're going to do next. This is the standing forward bend, but very, very modified for people with AS. And the idea of this pose is that we are lengthening the spine, we're opening the gaps between the vertebrae. So, a safe way of doing that is to have a wall, make a tent with the fingertips and take the buttocks to the wall, get the feet out, try to ensure that you've got a non-slip surface there. That's why we have bare feet in yoga usually. And then we're going to breathe in, and with heavily bent knees, the belly touches the tops of the thighs first. And we take the hands to a chair and then we fold forward. So you can see we're starting to get a lengthening of the spine using the weight of the head, the shoulders and the arms. But the idea of this is that it's a safe way of doing what we call an inversion. So let's now do that together. Feet are hip width apart, feet are parallel. Take the buttocks to the wall. Your feet are about 18 inches, 25 centimeters, 30 centimeters away from the wall. Breathe in, lift up, and extend forwards. Take the hands to the chair. Don't take too much weight. Allow the buttocks to slide up the wall slightly. And then take the head down with the crown of the head going to the floor. Tuck the chin into the chest. So you may not be able to get this far, you may only get this far, that's fine. Only go as far as you're comfortable, and we don't stay long in the inversions. So relax the spine, keep breathing, and look back between the ankles. What we're doing now is making room for the neck to move. So that's our preparation pose, and we'll come out of that by lifting the head first, taking the fingertips to the wall and pushing away. Now we're going to do that again, but if you want, you can do it without the chair or you can repeat with the chair. I'm going to demonstrate the second time without the chair, and we're going to dangle the arms so that that helps to get the extension, the lengthening, the elongating of the spine. Very careful here. Take the fingertips to the wall, micro adjust, breathe in, the chest is going out that way and down that way. The belly is touching the tops of the thighs first of all, and then take the hands to the elbows and bend like so. Now you may only get to that sort of position, that's fine. What we're wanting to do is to relax the neck so that we are using the weight of the head and the shoulders and the arms to lengthen the spine and to lengthen the neck, because when the gaps between the vertebrae in the neck are increased, we have a chance of better range of movement. Now I've got fusion in the neck, and this is safe for me, but if this feels uncomfortable to you, then come out of the pose You can do that by lifting the head and coming forwards. Now, this is where you may want just to watch, because we're going to do some movements of the neck whilst we're dangling in the standing forward bend. Again, I'll demonstrate without the chair, but this can also be done with the chair. So we're looking to have a neck flexion, a rotation, an extension, a tuck, and then a fall round. So set your foundation, take the buttocks to the wall, breathe in, go forward, join the hands to the elbows and take the crown of the head to the floor and relax. Now, keeping the alignment of the spine, take the right ear to the right shoulder. Now, when you do this sitting on a chair, often there's a lot of graunching noises, but because we've opened the gaps between the vertebrae in the neck, tend not to get down. It feels a lot easier. Don't stay there for long. Come back to center. Tuck the chin to the chest to get that forward movement, extending the back of the neck here. Bring the head back just a little bit, only to the point of comfort. Come back to center. Take the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping the alignment of the body. And then back to center. Now just with very, very small movements, just rotate the neck very gently, very slowly, 3 times clockwise, then 3 times anti-clockwise. So this is limbering the neck, keeping some movement in the neck. To come out of the pose, take the fingertips to the wall, lift the head very slowly, lift up, come forwards. And shake out. So there we are. That's a modification on the kind of neck exercises that we see, and this is modified in yoga for safety. So use a wall, use a chair, and only go as far as feels comfortable. Now, you'll be pleased to know that we're going to do some lying down. And this is a neck retraction using gravity. So come to your mat or to the space that you have clear. And again, you can use a blanket if you wish to lie on. If you're getting pain in your back, it may be from the inflammation. One of the things that you can do is lie on a thick blanket. Now, what I'm going to do is have a block under my head. And there's a real safety warning here. If you have fusion in your neck and when you lie down, it's very uncomfortable or impossible to take your head down, you really must put something under your head. So I'll just demonstrate that. So bending the knees, come down onto the elbows with knees raised, and then lie down and have something under your head. You can have, this is a yoga block that's 5 centimeters thick. So I'm going to put that under my head. And if you've got something, a thick cushion, try putting it under your head as well. Does it make it feel more comfortable to have something under your head when you're lying on your back? If it does, keep the cushion or the yoga block there. If you take it away and it feels equally comfortable, then that's good. But always err on the side of caution here. Maximum comfort is our intention. So first of all, we want to just relax back, with support for the head. Take the arms out straight at about 45 degrees from the body with palms facing up. Now take a very thin cushion. This is a 2.5 centimetre thick yoga block, which is a bit squishy, so it doesn't have hard edges. Lift the feet and just put the book or the cushion underneath the spine with the top edge just at the bottom of the shoulder blades. I'm going actually to get another block, same thickness from my head. So we're lying over a block. You may need something less than 2.5. But look, anything that when you lie over it, it feels comfortable when you have the back of the pelvis on the floor and the shoulder blades on the floor. So have the knees raised and the soles of the feet to the floor. Knees are hip width apart. Arms are out to the side and palms are facing straight up. Now, breathing in, take the hands to the side of the head and just lift the head off the block and lift the scalp, skin of the scalp, so that the chin goes to the chest. Rotate the shoulders out so that the chest comes to the chin and look down the body towards the ceiling. If you look up towards the ceiling, sorry, if you look to the wall, if you look up towards the ceiling, the temptation is to arch the back of the neck like that. You see that a lot in yoga for AS classes. So we really want to try and maintain that tilt of the chin, so that the chin is slightly lower than the forehead, and then just breathe softly and gently. And what we're using here is gravity to help us get that neck retraction, but it should be very comfortable. Maximum comfort is always our intention. Keep breathing softly and gently. Now the option here, if you wish, you certainly don't have to. When we talk about options, they are something to think about that maybe you can watch later or watch back, but breathing in, you can extend the feet away with the heels on the floor. And relax. Let the chin come to the chest, look down past the tip of the nose, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Now, staying in this position, take the hands to the side of the head and help your neck to rotate round to the right, like so, and look along the floorboards and just relax. So again, we're using the force of gravity to gently help us to maintain that range of motion in the neck, in the rotation round to the right. Keep breathing softly and gently. There is a big practice effect with some of these yoga poses modified for AS. And for example, when we're having our BASMEs measured, neck rotation is one of them. But what we know in yoga for AS is that there is a big practice effect. And the key is safe, regular practice. And that is the thing that is most likely to help you maintain and maybe improve your range of motion. We can't undo fusion, but we may be able to keep what we've got. Breathing in, take the hands to the side of the head again and help the head, which is quite heavy, to come back to center. Take a breath. Take the side of the head again and help the head to rotate the neck to the left. I have less movement round to the left than I do to the right. This is very common, I'm led to believe. Breathing, breathing, breathing all the time. Your gaze is out into the distance off to the left. Relax the jaw. Really don't use your strength to try to turn the neck. This is just a relaxation pose. Just let it go as far as it wants to go. Don't try and make it go any further. And then, because the weight of the head is going to put quite a strain on the neck, if you try to lift it, use your hands again to come back to center. And now that we're on the floor, we just have some small things to do before we move into our deep relaxation in Savasana. So in your own time, no rush, roll very gently to one side, take both hands and without twisting the spine, push up and come to a comfortable sitting position. Taking the block away, bring your chair to the end of the mat. And if you have your belt ready, make a loop, lasso the feet, and bring the belt up. It might be a dressing gown belt, it might be a proper yoga belt like this. Push the buttocks up to the side, have a blanket handy because you can lose heat in Savasana. And then roll over, taking the calves, the backs of the calves, onto the seat of the chair. And what this does, it makes it much more comfortable to lie on our backs. And you do have the option of lying on something soft like a mattress topper as well. Just tighten the belt slightly so that when you relax the legs, they just lean slightly against the belt here. Take the heels out slightly and point the toes in. What we're trying to do here is keep the openness in the sacroiliac joints that we've been working on throughout the class. Nice and relaxed now. Take the arms out straight to about 45 degrees. Palms facing up. The direction of the gaze is down the body past the tip of the nose. Keep breathing softly and gently. I'm going to come out of the pose now. Just talk us through some relaxation. Continue lying in that very relaxed pose. Breathing deeply and let unwanted thoughts and fears leave you with a strong exhalation through the mouth wide open. Maximum comfort is our intention. Let go in your legs and close your eyes. Roll the arms out at the shoulder joints. Take your attention to your toes and feel them relaxing. Relax your feet, the soles, the tops of your feet. Relax the feet muscles and let go. Relax the heels and the Achilles behind the heels. Bring your focus to your shins, the fronts and the calves at the back, allowing the calves to relax and spread. Let the knees relax, release and relax. Relax the thighs to the outer hips. Let go of the pain, stiffness and fatigue you've been feeling this week. Take your mind to your fingers. Focus there. Allow the hands to curl up lightly and then release them on the out-breath so that the thumbs fall away to the side. Relax the elbows, the upper arms, fronts and backs, muscles loosening and relaxing away from the bones. Feel the arms becoming longer and heavier as you soften all the inflamed tissue. Allow the breath into your shoulders so that the collarbones spread and the shoulder blades withdraw from their tense position high up the spine. Let the shoulder blades settle and spread so that the chest lifts just a fraction. On the next exhalation, release any tension and stiffness in your shoulders. Take your vision to the back body, to your neck, to the length of your spine. Feel relaxation in waves through your neck, down through the whole of your spine, down to the sacroiliac joints. Relax at the center of your sacrum, the heart-shaped bone at the base of the spine. Allow the blood to flow to the tissues and joints here, bringing life and energy. Relax the forehead and skin of the skull, the temples, the jaw, allowing the mouth to drop open slightly and the tongue to relax down. Here, now, Savasana. Relaxed body, quiet mind, balanced calmness. 1 minute of peace. When you're ready, bring your consciousness back to the everyday. Become aware of your breathing. Move your fingers and toes, your hands and your feet. And then roll to one side, taking the knees off of the chair and just relax, fold it up to one side. Then using both hands, push up to a comfortable sitting position or come to sit on a chair. Namaste. Thank you for joining us today for some yoga modified for AS.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Geoff. That's really lovely practice. I'm looking forward to trying it myself as well afterwards, and I'm not keeping an eye on the comments.
Okay, so I think we've got a few minutes.
We have, yeah. So for anyone watching, if you have any questions for Geoff, please do pop them in the comments. So far, we don't have any questions. I think everyone's been joining in and enjoying it.
Well, that's the thing. And, you know, self-care is something that we have to do, isn't it? We have to keep it up. And the key to that is enjoying it, as well as being safe and good for us and all that. But if we enjoy it at a deep level, if it's good for our mind, our body, our spirit and our emotions, if it's everything, then that's uplifting, and it can help us to cope with this illness that we have. Absolutely. And hopefully reduce some pain and bring you in contact with other yogis around the world.
Yeah, I imagine especially over the last couple of years, you must have had contact with people with sort of yogis with AS globally now.
Jamie is the driving force, I have to confess, on the social media. He started the Facebook group in May, nearly 2 years ago. And we thought, if we get 200 people, we're now on just about 3,000 globally. That's 1,000 in the States, 200 and a bit in Canada, similar sort of about 400 in Britain, then Ireland, lots in Australia, and about 80% of those are women. 25 to 45 is the main age range. And we are producing in a few months' time a virtual library of sequences of yoga for 8 different, what we're calling steps. So we're trying not to be competitive, but we're recognizing that there are some people who have become sedentary because of pain, stiffness, fatigue. Maybe the medication hasn't worked so well for them, and they're having to restart movement. Right the way through to people who are still running and playing football. So there is no one AS. There's a very wide range of presentations of AS. So there can't be just one yoga that we have to have for all the different steps. And also there are about 8 different areas of inflammation. The neck is the second highest prevalence, I'm told. So it's very good that we've worked on that today. Sacroiliac is obviously the one that we all get at some time in our life. And then other stuff like how to deal with flares, how to prevent flares, what yoga to practice when you're in a flare, what kind of flare, how to practice coming out of a flare. And Jamie's been doing a lot of work as well on fatigue and how yoga nidra can help with that. And that's another relaxation technique as well, which you might try to persuade Jamie to do a session on.
Yeah, he gave us a little taster at the end of his session a few weeks ago.
Yes, of course he did.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really popular. We had some really nice comments, so people have found that helpful. I've put the link to your community and to your website and things like that all in the video description as well. So for everyone watching, please do go check out the links there and join the community to have access to lots more help and advice, and yeah, really supportive community. It's lovely.
Thank you.
And yeah, we've got a lovely comment from Anya who said, she said, "That was great, thank you. My heart rate was the lowest it's been all day."
Well, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Was there anything you wanted to add, Geoff? Or I know you've given us loads of information, it's been brilliant, but just anything before we sort of wrap things up?
I think just to say thank you. Thank you to NASS for making this possibility come true. Great.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate your time and your expertise and your passion for it as well.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
See you again.
Before we finish up, everyone, I'll just let you know our next session is going to be on Wednesday, the 23rd of February at 1 p.m. We have a Tai Chi Qigong taster session with Julia Mitchell. And also in the video description, I've put a link to a short survey, because we'd love to get your thoughts on these My AS, My Life Facebook sessions, and give us your ideas for any future sessions you'd like to see us running. So really appreciate it if you can take your time to fill that in. Well, thanks again, Geoff. That has been fantastic. And yeah, we're getting some lovely comments coming in. Robin said this was amazing. Thank you very much. So thank you everyone for joining us, and hopefully see you all again soon.
Okay, bye.